Hey y'all, today's video is going to be my March recent reads video. So, the first series I read was the Out on the Ice series, which is a 4-book series, and I gave the entire series 5 stars. And then I read the book called The Correspondent, and I gave that one 4 stars. And it's about this woman who basically writes a bunch of letters to all these people that she encounters in her life, and it goes from there. And I gave it 4 stars. And then I read Once Upon a Time in Dollywood, and I gave that 3 stars. It was okay. It wasn't like my favorite or anything, but yeah. And then I read the spin-off to another series. I don't know what this spin-off is going to be called, but it's called In Her Own League, and I gave this book 4 stars. And then I read, this is like a weird title, but the current, I cannot talk today. The next book I read in March is called Freddie and Stella Got Hot, which is a weird title, but it's a 3 star. It wasn't my favorite. And then I read the sequel to First Time Caller and Now Back to You. I gave that one 3 stars. And then I read An Enchantment of Ravens, and I gave that one 4 stars. Then I read the third book in the, I can't remember what the series is called, but it's called If Only You Knew. It's a hockey romance series, and I gave that one 5 stars. Then I read Lessons in Faking, and I gave that one 4 stars. Then I read the entire Emily Wilde series, and I gave that 4 stars. It's a cozy fantasy. Then I read a book called Love on Ice, and it's a hockey romance, and I gave that 4 stars. Then I read Hearts on Thin Ice, another hockey romance, and I gave that 4 stars. Then I read the Paper Dragon series. It's a fantasy series with dragons and stuff. And then I read a book called Dreamslinger, and it's a fantasy, and it was good. And then I read a book called Dragonborn, and I gave that 4 stars. It's another fantasy. And then I read The Frozen Curse, and I gave that one 4 stars. Another fantasy. And then I read Love and Other Brain Experiments. I gave that one 4 stars. Then I read Right as Rain, and I gave that one 3 stars. It's okay. Then I read Anderson in Bloom, and I gave that one 3 stars. The Unwritten Rules of Magic, and I gave that one 4 stars. And it's basically about this woman who finds her father's typewriter, and she ends up typing, and it doesn't go as planned as she thought, and yeah. Then I read the last book in a series. It's a hockey series, and I gave it 4 stars. It's the last book in a series. Then I read One Night Only, and I gave that one 4 stars. Then I read the Maple Hills series, which I gave 3 stars. So, yeah. And then I read Dirty Love. It's a sports romance, and I gave that one 4 stars. And then What You Wished For, and I gave that one 4 stars. And then I read Things You Save in a Fire, and I gave that one 4 stars. And then I read How to Walk Away, and I gave that one also 4 stars. And then I read Just Friends, and I gave that one 4 stars. It was good. Then I read No Matter What, and I gave that one 5 stars. and that one was like super emotional and it made me cry. And then I read Kiss and Cry and I gave that one 4 stars. And then I read The Starter X and I gave that one 3 stars. Then I read Toe to Toe and I gave that one 3 stars. Then I read A Bookish Story and I gave that one 4 stars. Then I read No Place Like You and I gave that one 4 stars. It's the second book in a series. I can't really remember what the series is called, but I read the first one. Then I read A Latte Like Love and I gave that one 4 stars. It had chronic illness representation. Then I read the Hockey Guys series. I gave that one 4 stars. Then I read Love on Ice. Then I read the Love on Ice series. I gave that one 4 stars. Then I read My Perfect Match. It's a sapphic romance, and I gave that one 4 stars. Then I read the book called The Book Tour, and I gave that one 4 stars. Then I read the Heartache Duet series, and I gave that one 4 stars. Then I read Agnes Albert's Mystical Cat Shelter. I gave that one 4 stars. So for my entire month of March, I had 4 books that were 5 stars that were good, and then I am literally doing the math as best as I can, but
Speech duration. Stop button.
I read 45 books in total. So yeah,